Hey everybody, still working through the setup on my new studio space here. I figured out a pretty big problem that I had with the audio, so hopefully my audio is a lot better in this video than it has been in my recent ones. Now what I wanted to talk to you guys today about is I wanted to talk to you about testosterone levels. It's very, very important discussion to have. Especially for men as we get older, our testosterone levels decrease, I believe, by it's something like 1% every year after we're 30 years old. So we're looking at a marked increase in, or decrease in testosterone levels as we age. Now, that paired with issues that we've had as a society through the years, testosterone levels have actually gone down something like 27 or 30% in the last 20 years across the board. Like we're talking 20-year-old guys have a 27 or so percent lower testosterone level than they did 20 or 30 years ago. This is a horrible situation. Like testosterone is absolutely vital and important to a man's health. Women as well, to a much lower extent because they need very little of it. Men without it lose really a lot of what can make us men in the first place. We reach a situation where, because of the food that we eat, because of obesity, because of the chemicals that we put into our food, because of the steroids that have been added into the meat that we eat, because of all these things over the last decades, we have slowly decreased our testosterone levels as a people across the board, like I was saying. Now that mixed in with the fact that you start losing, like I said, 1% or so a year of testosterone level when you get over 30 years old, you're looking at a situation where a lot of men in their 40s are getting into critically low levels of testosterone. So I'm going to give a little primer on testosterone here and what makes it so important. Now myself, I am actually on testosterone. I am on what's called TRT. It's called testosterone replacement therapy. Now what that means is, basically I went to my doctor and I said, hey, listen, doc, I'm having issues. I'm tired all the time. I am carrying a lot of pain between my workouts, and I would really like to get my testosterone levels checked. And he didn't really want to. Because I was building muscle, I was working out and I was building muscle, and he didn't think that I would be able to build that muscle if I had low testosterone. Turns out, on a completely separate venture, I had my genetics tested, and I have the genetics test referred to my genetics as elite level genetics for muscle building, comparable to the best powerlifters in the world. So it turns out that my genetics were actually so good they were making up for the fact that I had low testosterone. But anyways, I basically begged him to check it, and he checked it for me. He pulled me back into the office and he sat me down and he said, and I'm pretty much, I believe this is pretty much word for word. He said, your testosterone levels are so low that I'm surprised that you are able to get off the couch. Imagine that. 46 years old. I've been living just beat up for so long. I've already been told that I'm going to die of a heart attack and I'm pre-diabetic, and I'm trying to fix it, and I'm hurting. I'm carrying pain. I'm out of energy, and I go to the doctor and he tells me this, and I go on testosterone. I go on testosterone replacement therapy. I went from having testosterone levels that were in the gutter to having high normal testosterone levels. Basically an absolute game changer. It felt like I took 20 years off my life. My energy levels, my ability to heal, I don't carry all the pain through from workout to workout because my body heals itself faster. Testosterone does amazing things for men. A person with low testosterone may not care. Testosterone actually affects your ability to feel your feelings, the level that you feel them at. Your life could be going to hell and you're like, I can't be bothered to do anything about it. Because testosterone just takes that drive away. Your drive to do things, your drive to complete things, that's your ability to have healthy emotional interactions with people. This is all deeply, deeply affected by your testosterone level. It's funny. I'll be watching commercials now, and I'll see something sad, and I'll bring a tear to my eye. And it's just, I feel things so much more than I used to, good and bad, right? My ability to feel the highs is just so much more remarkable. And when I do get into the lows, my anger, it's a little bit elevated. That is normal. It's not that testosterone makes you angry. It's that testosterone makes you feel what you're supposed to feel. And you've spent so much time not feeling it that you think that's normal, and it's not. Testosterone, basically, it helps that feeling of youngness and vitality and strength. Your testosterone levels being in the proper area are just totally affect your ability to feel good about yourself and the world around you. Your mental health, if you have low testosterone compared to being on testosterone replacement therapy or having good testosterone to begin with, it's an unbelievable difference. And it's just something that I believe that more people have to be aware of. If you're in your 40s, you should be getting your testosterone levels checked. You should be going to your doctor. Do whatever you have to say to your doctor to get him to check your levels. Tell him that you're weak. Tell him that you're carrying a lot of pain. I'll be brutally honest. Tell him that you're having erectile dysfunction. That is one of the things that will absolutely check testosterone levels for. Do whatever you have to do. Just make sure that they get them checked for you. It's a science. There's a level range that you should be in. And if you can get, especially if you can get to the high range of that range, you can just make such a difference in your life just by putting yourself back to where you're supposed to be. Age and the crap that we go through as society has destroyed testosterone levels, and we can bring them back. And if you can bring them back, if you can go in testosterone replacement therapy and you can bring those back, brother, it's like losing 20 years. It's like going back to being in your 30s again. So go get that stuff checked out. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much I'm doing because I don't want anybody out there to be like, oh, well, I can just go buy testosterone and take what he's taking. This stuff, you need to go through this with a doctor. You need to get your blood levels checked. There are things you need to watch out for. You need to find the level that you're good at. If you don't do that, you can get sick and die from it. You can have a heart attack. If you try to take your levels too high, that is exactly what will happen. You will get sick. You can die. Now, let's talk a little bit about steroids now, because testosterone is a steroid. All steroids are basically an extension of what testosterone is. All the other steroids that they make, I don't know, Tren, Anavar, they're all basically extensions of testosterone that have been medically changed to have different effects. But all of these things are something that you can only take in what they call cycles. A person who is on steroids, for example, if you're doing testosterone as a bodybuilder, if you're a bodybuilder doing testosterone and you want to use it to build insane amounts of muscle, you basically have to go on like 5 times the amount that I'm on right now. Right? That's why the level that I'm at is called testosterone replacement therapy. I've talked with my doctor and we've set it at a level where I can sustain it like that indefinitely, because I have to be on it for the rest of my life. Otherwise, I'll lose the effects of it. So if you do like 5 or 6 times the amount I'm doing, you will build muscle like crazy. You see those guys, there's just those absolute massive monsters all over the place. Professional bodybuilders, basically, they have to do cycles, they have to do steroids, otherwise they can't win. That is something different I'll go into in a second here. So when you do 5 or 6 times the amount that I'm doing, it actually has very adverse effects on your body, your red blood cell count, your cholesterol levels. It destroys them. It sends them into areas where they should not be, and areas that can definitely cause you pain or kill you. So they do them in cycles. As bodybuilders, they do them in cycles. That's why they call it a cycle. They do 2.5 months, and then they stop. And they take other drugs to get their body to start making testosterone again. because there are drugs that will make your body restart it. They won't make your body make it if it's not making it. They'll make it restart, hopefully. In some cases, your body just won't restart. There's a lot to look into here, right? And you should really be talking with a doctor. Anything that I'm telling you now, don't take it as medical advice. You need to talk to your doctor. Now, so they go on them for 2 months, 2.5 months. They build a massive amount of muscle, and then they come off them. They get their body making testosterone again. They keep a certain percentage of it, and that's how bodybuilders build muscle. You get on some of these other steroids, like I said, Tren, Anavar, Dianabol. There's a whole bunch of them. Those you have to take testosterone with. Because they don't do what testosterone does. They're basically genetically designed or scientifically designed to work in a certain area. They do not do the things that testosterone does for you, but they do show up in your body and trick them into thinking it's testosterone, so your body will stop making testosterone if you go on these other things. So if you go on these other things, you have to go on testosterone too. Otherwise, you'll get very sick. Now, same thing. When you go on those things, you go on testosterone with them. You do a large amount of all of these compounds, and you build a lot of muscle. You do your cycle. You come off of it, you lose basically whatever you're going to lose. But generally, as a rule, you don't lose as much muscle as you have gained. So if you put on, say, 30 pounds of muscle doing an excessively large amount of steroids, you will keep 20, 25 pounds of it. So you'll get further ahead. Every time you do those large cycles, you are hurting yourself. You're putting your body through stresses. You're taking massive amounts of risks. I do not recommend that anybody does that unless they compete in bodybuilding. I said I would get back to this. The reason that bodybuilders have to do steroids, don't ever think less of a bodybuilder for the steroids that they have to do. And the reason they have to do them is because they've decided to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Everybody is on steroids in these competitions. If they don't go on them, they can't compete. So they've decided to take these things so that they can compete in this thing that they love doing, in this thing that is very, very difficult and is probably shortening their lifespan. They're basically giving up a portion of their life so that they can compete. They still have to put in all the work. It is still extremely difficult. And at the end, they have to cut their body fat down to levels that you feel sick at. This is just something that has to be done to compete. I fully respect these people for going through what they go through because most people couldn't do it. They just happen to need steroids to do it because everybody uses them. Even when you get into the natural bodybuilding competitions now, a lot of them are on steroids too. They're just cycling in a way that they don't get caught in the drug tests. But anyways, that was just, I went off a little bit there and kind of explained a little bit more on steroids than I think I was expecting to. What I wanted you to get from this is that it is important. Testosterone is important to your life, your future, and your well-being. If you have any doubts at all about your levels, go get them checked. If you have any symptoms that could possibly be from having a low testosterone level, please go get them checked. If you can go into a doctor and it turns out that you do have low testosterone and he can put you on testosterone replacement therapy, like I said, brother, it's a game changer. It will just instantly make your life so much better. If you go into your doctor and you get your testosterone levels checked and you're in the normal to high normal range, at least you know. At least you know that's not something you have to worry about, and that's something that's off your plate, is something that is an aspect of your building that needs to be dealt with. You know that's off your plate. You don't have to worry about it. We've each got our own circumstances to go through. We've all got our own demons. We've all got our own trials and tribulations. We should all be trying to help each other through those trials and tribulations as much as we can. When a brother asks you for help, you give your brother some help. You try to help him up. It's not about climbing over people. It's about elevating society as a whole. And that's what we need to do. We need to be better role models. We need to be better humans. And we need to be stronger men. All right? If you feel like helping out the channel, please like and share this video, subscribe, comment on it. Everything helps with the algorithm. If If you want to help out the Good Man Initiative financially, feel free to go over to Patreon and become a patron. You can give whatever you want to give. I'm not asking you to give any more than you can. If you can't afford to give anything, or you don't feel I deserve it, then please don't give it to me. If you do feel I deserve it though, by all means. If you want to help out the cause, then feel free to throw a little bit my way. This all costs money and it's all come out of my pocket so far, and I'd like to do more with it. So if you want to help out, then please feel free to help out. If you can't help out, if you can't afford it, then please do not give me your money. I do not want it if it takes away from you. All right? Okay, well, I love you guys. I hope you're all out there just being good to each other. Help your fellow man up. Help your brother up. Let's all be good role models. Let's all be strong men, like I said. All right? Love you guys.